like the first time we left Austin, headed for California.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's the second part of the trip. Yeah, it was good. It was fun to be back in Austin and see a lot of the old stores and some new ones too. It's a little sad to leave Austin because we won't see it for a few more months, but it's exciting. San Francisco's a cool town. We're going to be there in a few weeks, and San Angelo and Lubbock and Phoenix and Albuquerque. That's going to be neat. So it's going to be nice to be back on the road too. We were talking about that earlier. We've been staying with some friends and things like that, and while that's a lot of fun, there's something about being on your own that makes it feel more like a road trip and all that. So pretty good. What about you? What do you think?
I'm really excited about seeing a lot of the towns that we're hitting. They're kind of off the beaten track. Not a lot of publishers will visit places like San Angelo and Lubbock and San Luis Obispo and Fresno, and I just think it's going to be really interesting and exciting to see what kinds of responses we get there and how that might be different from some of the larger metroplexes that we're going to as well.
And we've seen a weird mix of big cities with not a lot of gaming and little cities with big gaming, so it'll be kind of fun to see how some of these work out.
Yeah.
What'll the turnout be? I would expect it to be small in some cities. We might get overwhelmed though.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm with you. That's a good point. And a lot of publishers wouldn't do this, so more for us, right?
Yeah, and retailers are really kind of filling a community niche that is kind of missing when your life is so digital. There's kind of a campfire-esque aspect to meeting at your local game store and getting to meet other people in community that given any other occasion you might not meet. So of course meetup groups are doing that also.
Yeah, well I think you've hit on it there with the idea that even the local store can have its own loyalty, essentially, and you build your community around that. And some of these smaller places we're going, there may only be one store.
Yeah.
So it's the place to be. So, yeah, when I grew up, there was one store that kind of sold gaming stuff, and then we had to go to the big city to get the most of our games, and that was way before all this kind of gaming was out. So you were loyal to that one store. It was your hangout, your place to be. So very much community's a good word for it.
And that's exactly what you get with board gaming that you don't get as much of. It's a different sense of community with board gaming as opposed to other types of gaming, online gaming.
A very different way to experience community, at least.
Exactly. Yeah.